to build your own studio. It's a lot to deal with. It's kind of risky that we decided to do this 2 days before the party. Famous last words. Automats to be connected to Ethernet. So you do need partners. You have to be obsessed. The light reaches the wall. We're now at the end of our story on how we built this virtual production studio, and all of the stuff that we've been chatting about, the equipment, the lighting, the construction work, has been leading up to the launch event, all done between December and January, most of the January. So here we are, a couple of days until the launch party, and we're nearly done. But before I get to talk about the last uphill battle to get to the launch party, I just want to thank you for supporting, for watching this series, for commenting, for sending us messages. I want to thank a lot of people that helped us along the journey as well. Nea, Ovi, the good people at CVP, Socially You, which directly and indirectly helped and inspired us with the studio. So thanks so much. It's great to know that there are people out there that are willing to help you, whether they're in the domain or not. It's always great not having to do things completely on your own and feeling a bit lonely that you're going through this transformation on your own with no feedback and so on. That's the worst scenario that you can be in. So surround yourself with people that can help, that can feedback, that can be a moral support, because it's not easy to build a studio. Not necessarily something like this virtual production per se, but to build your own studio. It's a lot to deal with. It's also scary, right? What if I screw up? What if I don't set up properly? What if I need to start from scratch with this thing and that other thing? Thank you for watching. Feel free to subscribe if you haven't already. As you probably guessed, it is just the beginning. We just launched the studio. We're still experimenting with things, learning, running projects, and there's a lot that can be shared from this entire journey and experience. And those that know me before this whole studio thing know that I love to share. When I acquire a new skill, new information, I feel that is half lost if I don't share it with others. So yeah, there's gonna be a lot more content coming. Stay tuned for that. Right, final days. Again, we are a couple of days out from the party, and we're excited. We managed to set up the tracking. Unreal Engine was working. We dealt with the lighting, and we were testing, and everything seemed to be going smoothly up until the last couple of days. We started planning. We started looking at, okay, so how are we going to arrange the room for multiple people to be in here? Because again, it's not a huge space. We had around 20 people that would join the party, and we wanted to make sure that people can move around, they can see the stage, they can see the results. So we've set up in one corner of the studio, started planning on how we're receiving guests, where can they see the final output, where are we going to have drinks and snacks and things like that. So all of that was dealt with a couple of days before. And then I realized I already knew this. I had something that I felt not very good about, which was the initial plan was to only have one computer running Unreal Engine, potentially have on the same computer a flat video of another angle, so we can show two angles as well. For the demo, we wanted to make sure that the launch party has demos so that people can see how this technology and experience the motion tracking and the keying and everything. So we went for two looks. We went for a more filmic look, like a poker scene, and then we also went for a high key setup, more for brand corporate type of talking head bit, which was in a museum. And for the filmic shot, we only had one camera, the tracked camera, moving around. And for the second one, we wanted to have two angles. Now with Unreal Engine and We're going to talk about this in the future a bit more in depth. When you're outputting a camera from Unreal Engine, you're basically running a 4K stream out of the computer, but you're also running another 4K or whatnot stream of your viewport. So that's like half of 8K that you're running through one computer. And even for a 4090, that's quite a lot. It would have been pretty darn difficult for us to have two camera streams from one computer, although we could technically do it from a hardware perspective, but from a performance perspective, it would have been terrible. I realized we might need to pull the second computer and install it and start it. And I already had this thing that I sitting on top of my head, which was the computer is too loud when we're running Unreal Engine. You're not going to be able to do audio in the place that well. Yeah, I was concerned about that, but then I started thinking about the party. When we were talking of planning the party and so on, I got a bit stressed about the fan noises of the computer, and also the fact that I needed to add another computer, so further increasing the noise. So I decided literally 2 days before the party to rejig everything, move the computers into the kit room. Now, last evening we also talked, and because of how loud this computer is, we decided to move the computer and set up everything to control the computer from this room, but have it in the kit room. So, and what we're doing is I ordered a TV stand. So we're gonna put the monitor on the TV stand so we can easily move it around, and that's gonna be connected to the two computers from the other room. And this stand that we have here, we're gonna lower the top part a bit, and what we'll try to do is basically put the other computer on top. I feel that that's a very elegant solution. It's kind of risky that we decided to do this 2 days before the party, but I think it should be pretty straightforward. Famous last words. Just have the screen here where you can use the computers using that screen to do Unreal Engine setups and also to see the output. And that came with its own challenges, because that now it meant that we needed to pull a ton of cables from the kit room for like 20 meters on the wall, on top, on the ceiling, and then back here to make sure that we connect everything, because the computers need to be connected to the switch on the Blackmagic server. There's a couple of SDIs that are coming from the computers in this room. The SDIs for each background, then the SDIs for the Genlock. Then we had the Ethernet cables that needed to be plugged, as I mentioned, HDMI, and also the challenge was that you can't do HDMI more than 15 meters. So we would have had to extend it or find a different solution. That evening, I was doing research like mad, because I already knew that there's these boxes to extend your computer functionality. To basically to be able to control your computer from a different room in the house or office. And these converters basically allow you to send HDMI and USB 2 through Ethernet cables. So now in this room we have two of those boxes, the receivers, and in this room we have the HDMI cables going to that screen for both of the computers. Also, there are USB ports in this room that actually connect all the way to the computers in the kit room, which was great. When we came up with the solution, I was very stressed because I've never done this kind of setup before. I've always had the computer next to the screen in the room where I need to do stuff. So I was quite stressed if this is even going to work out. And add to that we had so many cables. I think we routed through a hole in the kit room 15 or 16 cables. Initially I thought, oh, it's going to be a couple of cables, but it adds up. We also had to install the CCTV, and we installed basically the box, the recorder in the kit room, and had to pull cables, bring it all the way here to the router. Our storage server, we also moved it there because that was another piece of tech that was making noise. So a lot of cables that we needed to route it here. And I remember we've done it on, I think on a Thursday, we received everything and we started laying down the cables and pulling them all together. It took a lot of time. Poor Ovi had to do all of that while hanging close to the ceiling for an entire day. And the next day we came in and I was just praying that everything works because we installed the cables and we didn't even test them. Newbie move, but we did. So I was thinking, man, if an SDI cable doesn't work or the HDMI or anything like that, we're screwed. We're done for it. We need to basically unhook the entire cable and change it and so on and test it. At least I marked each cable at each end so we know which is which. But yeah, luckily to our surprise, everything worked really well. We didn't have any issues with the cables. And once we realized that everything is working, plugged in, we started arranging everything, done pretty awesome with the cable management, and got ready for the party. And man, it felt so good to not hear the servers just the bloody fans in this room. I remember turning on Unreal Engine on both computers and then just pulling the curtain in silence. You know, you're running, and I'm running Unreal Engine now on the screen there. And normally you'd get the fans going because it's rendering 3D and so on. We don't hear anything. You hear a couple of tiny fans from the lights, which is normal. But yeah, I'm talking a bit too much about this, but it was such a situation where very reckless of us. We took the decision a couple of days before the launch party. We're gonna do it. I don't want people to come in here, see the studio, and be thinking, but it's a bit loud. Yeah, it's cool technology, but the whole place is so loud. Set it up, it actually worked. And I felt so happy that I solved this massive problem that I was actually thinking about since day one when I started Unreal Engine and started doing keying and testing stuff. And I was thinking, man, this is quite a loud setup. Yeah, so we got ready for the party. We tested our scenes, our lighting, everything was working. Basically managed to get everything done in time. And honestly, at the beginning of January, it did not felt like that one bit. As we were untangling all of the things, all of the stuff, I made a huge list of all of the to-dos in January, and it just felt that it was probably impossible. But we pulled heavy hours. Both Ovi and I were in the studio for 12 hours per day, sometimes even more. And we got it done. Party day, we were ready. In the morning, just came in, chilled, turned on the servers and the lights and everything, set up the scenes, and we had quite a few hours to spare before the actual party. We're done. We're finally done with the studio. Feels good. This is the launch party. We've managed to finish just in the edge of the time. We're ready to receive people. We're 20 minutes away from people showing up. We're gonna do 2 demos this evening. Show people basically what we can achieve in the studio. And talk a bit about the equipment, talk a bit about what we can offer in the studio. But man, it's been hard work and I'm just excited. I'm nervous as well. I'm tinkling a bit when I decided to rent this specific place. I've set a target of 1st of February to launch the studio. The plan is we are now, what's the date? 25th of October 2024. The opening of the studio will be on 1st February 2025. So we basically have 3 months to put this place together. And at times it just felt impossible to achieve. At times it felt like I'll need to downgrade the scope of what we're doing in here. But we basically achieved everything that we wanted and more. So now I'm just like super eager to show people all of the cool stuff. And also I'm an absolute nerd about all of this stuff. So I know that I'm gonna have an amazing evening at this party just talking to everyone about everything around. So it's demo time. Once people started coming in, I was kind of like analyzing people's reactions coming in here. And they would say hi to me and just start looking around on the ceiling, on the lights, on the stuff that was happening on the stage. So it was amazing to see that. because it kind of like signaled, okay, this is cool, this is interesting, that people are kind of like drawn to the studio. Talked to quite a few people that joined, a lot of people that I already knew, but also some folk that I've never met before, and everyone had a really positive reaction to the studio, and the a very I've seen an attitude of, man, the things that I can do in here, which was amazing to see and hear, because that's exactly what we're aiming for, right? This is a blank canvas in a way. You have a lot of equipment in here. It is fully specced out, but it is a blank canvas in what you can achieve, what you can deliver as projects, using our virtual production tech and our green screen. And that continued afterwards. We had people visiting, we had directors, filmmakers, and so on visiting right after the launch as well, and the same reaction. Which is amazing to see. People had fun. There was quite a bit of socials, drinking. I had these 2 tests. I was speaking to everyone, explaining the tech, explaining what we can achieve. Everyone was super impressed, taking pictures. We've also asked people to step on stage and see themselves on the screen, and I'm so happy that I was so inspired to do this, to get this product. I knew as soon as I started thinking of the stage, I knew that I wanted a confidence monitor, big monitor, where whoever's on the stage acting or customer delivering an interview or anything like that can see themselves. I'm always the type of person that does research and invests extra money in things. So I could have gotten a very cheap flat TV that's super big and be economical about it. But the one thing that I realized after, although I bought it because I like high specs, this TV is absolutely beautiful. It is a ROG gaming monitor, but it's OLED and it's 48-inch, and it's also matte, so things don't reflect. That was intentional. I wanted a matte TV so that things don't reflect. But the fact that it's OLED and the color accuracy is really good. When you turn, this is the one reaction that I've seen from everyone that would step on stage. When they turn their head to see themselves, it's just like this awe of a reaction, and this aha moment of, oh my god, that looks so good. Of course, it's the entire technology, it's the keying, it's the color grading, it's the lighting, it's everything. But also having a monitor that just renders beautiful colors and real blacks and so on. It's just like it just takes you back, versus if we had a very cheap small monitor and you have to be like, oh, where am I? Oh yeah, I can see myself. Hey, hi. No, every single person that hops into the stage and sees themselves is always super impressed. So that's one of those investments that I've done that I realize afterwards, this is really good, because if I had a cheap monitor, the effect wouldn't have been the same. I'm really happy with the outcome of the event. Got to reconnect with all the friends as well. And it also signaled the beginning. I really wanted to have a proper launch party to kind of wave the flag, the start the race flag. Since we had the launch party, we've been super busy just making sure that as many people know about our virtual production studio in the south of UK. Been having a lot of viewings, a lot of interest, couple of bookings as well. I'm excited. Thank you again for following through this series. We'll edit it to make it look good, because I know I talk a lot and ramble, but you'll get the good version of this. I'll see you in some future videos. I think next up what we're planning is this super cool shoot with a probe lens, like a product shoot, and we have some really cool technology that we want to share with you. And basically, we're experimenting a lot in this field, especially for products and stuff. So, yeah, stay tuned. We'll share all with you. I'll see you in the upcoming videos. Bye.
It's done.
Yeah,
How did it go?
closing off. I think it worked really well. I think people excited about the space and the potential of it. So we'll have more tech demos moving forward. It's just great to see people come up with ideas and see the potential of the space. And it's also very rewarding because we worked so hard on this whole setup. So exciting. We'll close off the build series. Um, we got there. Everything is set up exactly how it's supposed to. I don't think I have a big, oh, but we didn't manage to get this. And we finished with a big bang, the party, and everything worked almost too well. I'm a bit concerned of what's going to happen next week. Now, spec shoots, and then from there, we have a couple of prospects, and we'll continue to get more people in and start shooting stuff. Yeah, so excited. Yes, that's the goal. So yeah, we're closing off. Amazing month, hard but rewarding, and I'm super grateful for everyone that worked on this and put their effort along the way. Um, we got the result that we wanted. So yay! There's Masterwork
Nice.
Studio in Brighton now. Come by, see all the tech. Yay.